I do believe that people are drawn together. And I now, I'm almost 49 years old, will go up to someone and be like, hello. It's hard to make friends as an adult.
It is.
And it's going to be really weird for about 30 seconds, but I think I like you. And here's why. And I tell them, and they're like, oh my God, me too. And I have made new friends like that over and over again.
Yeah.
Because the icebreaker, as you just said, is the problem. Nobody wants to look like that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I
you
will be that
embrace it.
person all day.
I love it.
she is.
I do too. I call it life experiment. I'm like, I wonder if I do this, what's going to happen? And literally the answer is nothing.
Yeah.
Most times nothing happens.
Yeah.
Or if something happens, it's great or funny and it glitches the system and makes it makes more sense.
Welcome to the Grind and Glow.
Real talk, real estate, real life.
I'm Kathy Garcia.
And I'm Megan Black. We're two unlikely friends turned business partners bringing you real, unfiltered conversations about the real estate world and the wild ride that comes with it.
From industry highs and lows to behind the scene moments you won't believe, we're here to keep it fun, relatable, and refreshingly real.
Expect laughs, lessons, and a little chaos along the way.
Because in real estate and life, things don't always go as planned.
Let's get real. Let's talk real estate. Let's dive in. All right, everybody, we're super excited to have Jamie Ferguson on with us today. If anybody knows her, she's always a really good time. And she just started a new company called Cardinal ADU to help out with some of the middle housing issues and really start to kind of solve some problems. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jamie.
Thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely.
It's really pretty. No, Cardinal ADU Design Build was an accidental formation. My business partner, Amy Taylor, and I met at a happen chance event and started chatting and realized that she brought two components from the standpoint of life, politics, if you would, from the standpoint of housing, not politics like we know them in today's news, but housing, and then also nonprofit because she's a breast cancer survivor. And so she's done a lot of work with nonprofits in the past. And I come from an investor, land management, property management, and real estate background. And so those four pieces are 100% our company. And all four parts of that can benefit from some additional thing. And you mentioned middle housing. Okay, what is middle housing, right? Accessory dwelling units, ADUs, something mid-size in a good location at a decent rent or a decent purchase price or creation price is middle housing. And so we, through our lives, 21 years I've been here in real estate, and I've served 6 years with the city of Raleigh, doing things by way of infill design and approvals, worked with permitting and council. Infill is a big thing. We're running out of dirt. We keep saying that. We really are. We can do better by way of our land. We can be better stewards. And so we have created this out of an accidental necessity. And I joke and say, anger is not a primary emotion, but passion will calm that anger and bring it into power.
That is true.
I wake up every day. I have dreams about this stuff. Like I woke up, my alarm was going off 2 days ago, and I woke up telling someone, you can't place the ADU right there. Like I literally had words coming out of my mouth. You can't put it there. And I was like, oh my God. And it's, I know for me personally that when something doesn't leave me, it's on purpose and it's real. Yeah. And so all of what we're doing is intentional. The group I'm working with, we've created what I call we've assembled a team. We are not in all business together. Amy and I own Cardinal ADU. We have a builder that we're working with as a designated builder, 5-star BBB rating, 24 years in business. We have a person that's been working with the city services for 21 years on infill design, placement, and city, what we call organization. Brilliant. Between the four of us, we have 119 years of some type of real estate industry experience.
Yeah.
And it's all under one umbrella. And so we wanted to do something that made everything easier for everybody. Yeah. We're here in Durham today. Durham has approved ADUs. Raleigh has approved ADUs. Cary has approved ADUs. They're approved by right. What does that mean? They're approved to be built, but they have to be available to be built in the way you wish them to on your land. Every single project is very unique. And I tell people the answer to about 8 out of 10 questions with ADUs is it depends.
Right.
How much is it? It depends. Where can I put it? It depends.
Yeah.
All of it's very individual. I don't go to the doctor expecting the same thing you get for an answer, even if we have the same condition, right? Yeah. It's all going to be very specific to that property and those people's needs, the client and the end user and what they want to do. But we knew it was there. Middle housing allows people to live in a, what we're calling cozy environment. For me, it's you don't lose your keys in 800 square feet, okay? Right. ADUs are not tiny houses. They are not brought in on truck beds and just placed in your yard. They are built just like a home. They are primary homes. Just like your primary home has water, sewer, electric, this all has to be imported somehow to the ADU as well.
Is there a minimum square footage for an ADU that's
There's
required?
not a minimum, no. There are maximums in different jurisdictions,
Okay.
and everyone's a little bit different. But like for Raleigh, for instance, it cannot exceed 1,200 square feet, and it has to be at
Okay.
least 100 square feet smaller than the main dwelling.
Okay.
So if you had a
Yeah.
1,500 square foot home, you could put a 1,200 square foot
Yeah.
ADU in the back. In theory. Now, policies and procedures are always changing. So I
Sure.
always say, please check with your local authorities
It depends.
right.
or us,
It depends. Yeah.
because we're constantly checking with our local authorities.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does depend. And we are pushing for policy change to make things a bit more feasible,
Yeah.
affordable, and time wise. It takes forever. Surveys right now, $2,000, about 2 months. You're going to wait
It's crazy.
just to even start, possibly, if that's a
Nice.
requirement of your jurisdiction where you're building. So my background in banking, development, and real estate literally has brought all of this together, and I couldn't be happier, honestly. And I'm very passionate about putting this on the ground. It's important. We need it. You know, our cities are becoming bigger cities. Like I mentioned, Raleigh, Durham, very much. If people that are serving our city and working in our cities can no longer afford to live here, the cities will
Right.
kind of deflate.
Right.
And we don't want that. We want everyone living, working in the places that's convenient so their life can be a bit balanced.
Yeah.
Right? That's the concept, and that's the goal, is
Yeah.
to give balanced, easy property life options to people.
Yeah, it's kind of reminds me. So, in Massachusetts, for instance, right now they're building a in Martha's Vineyard. There's not enough housing for people that live on the island.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's having to travel, so they're basically just building this massive condo, apartment.
High rise.
High rise, yeah, to help people. And so it's like, and the more I research, I mean, I've went to, my wife is also in land development, and so we go to a lot of the meetings about housing, and it's a real problem. And it's weird because there's a balance between the builders having to make a profit and people having to have a place to live. And I feel like ADUs, and the nice thing in my opinion, and this is what I love about ADUs, is it allows people to get into investing with minimal problems, really.
I joke, but I don't. Like, if you have an all-in budget as an investor, let me play with your money differently than you want to play with your money. You no longer have to be prescribed to go buy an investment duplex.
Right.
Okay, let me buy this single family, turn it into a duplex, and put 2 ADUs in the backyard for about the same price.
Right.
And really, we talk about rates, and mortgage rates are changing, and everything's higher than it was. Financing these things can be challenging. That's a no-brainer. We've been working on that for 3 years. We've got a lot of good answers and some solutions, but it's still a challenge. And so as people don't want to lose their 3% 30-year fixed, how do you refinance to get the cash out?
Right.
So these type of things have to be considered. And it's true, to make it reasonable, and to your point, if you are buying something or you already own something, it's a lot easier to tap into what you already know and move forward than it is to go out and try to find it first.
Yeah.
It really is. And so we love that concept, obviously, but yes.
So how did you end up in ADUs? Like, what was that aha moment for you that was like, how can I solve this problem? I see a problem.
Yeah.
What is the solution?
The solution accidentally came to me. I didn't go to it. I went on vacation, and where I was staying happened to be an ADU.
Okay.
And it was so cool and so cute. And as I was walking around the neighborhood, whatever, coffee in the morning, I was like, they all have them. Why don't we have these?
Yeah.
And so that literally just got me thinking. And so as a realtor, I go on the website, go on the Zillow, go on the realtor.com, and I'm like, okay, how much are these houses selling for? The ones that are for sale that already have these ADU backyard cottages. Like, what are we working with?
Right.
And yes, they're more expensive than the ones that don't have them, but relatively, you're getting 2 houses in one.
Right.
It was a slam dunk.
Right.
And so-
For minimal overhead.
Right. And so I'm like, why don't we have these in Raleigh?
Yeah.
That literally is where it started. And so then I started the Googling. I told myself this: instead of scrolling, I'm going to Google.
Yeah.
And so my playtime and my boredom on the internet, which we all do it. I mean, we would have said we don't, we do.
Of course.
It's our new TV. I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to ADU podcast, which then led me to all different types of areas that were hot ADU build areas, like Portland. We think about Portland being the coolest city in the country. Portland, Oregon, LA, Austin, Phoenix, these type areas that have been able to grow inside themselves, right? The density inside Phoenix just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger because they're building multifamily and additional type housing like ADUs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so looking at all of it from that perspective, I was like, why do we not have this? And then I started following these different companies. I've reached out and talked to owners of these companies. I am actively trying to sit and talk with different political figures and authorities in these jurisdictions across the country that have done this and say, why did it work?
Yes.
What would you really not recommend we do? Like,
Right.
give me the good, bad, and the ugly, and let's make this easier for us. Because we have to find answers, but it's not going to be overnight.
Right, of
Right.
course.
And changes, it takes a minute to get around the corner when it comes to change. And so we want to make sure that people feel good about it. No one needs to slap up a bunch of ugly buildings everywhere. We do not want to tear down all the trees that we love.
Right.
We don't want to put things up that make the street seem different. We don't want to contaminate, so to speak, visually neighborhoods and make them look very cluttered or too dense. This is all very on purpose. The building's considerate, and we want to make sure that people enjoy what they're getting.
Where do people that are looking for ADUs, or where's the place right now in the triangle? Or are you guys going outside of the triangle? Are you seeing more movement? I think there's other counties that, number one, there's the space, right? But I just don't know if they're there yet with that concept of ADU on,
Yeah.
So where are most people considering they're going to go through that investment for an ADU?
And it's a good question. And there's really not anywhere specific I can say that is or is not. But what I'll say by general description, who is, who is not, the cities that are considering and implementing ADUs into their build processes or their policy changes are the cities that don't have anywhere else for people to live.
Okay.
Okay. You think about it. We're out of properties. You know, we saw here locally in the pandemic, we had no inventory. It's creeping back up, but it's maybe not the right inventory.
Right.
And those areas, those cities that need that are already saturated, they're the ones thinking about ADUs. When, even going an hour south of here,
Yes.
there's still a ton of farmland, a
There
ton
is.
of rolling fields. And so they're not out of land yet.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
that
not
makes sense.
saturated with people. Now, and also towns that don't have very detailed or busy city centers probably don't really need, they can spread out further.
Right.
When you're all going to one epicenter at some point every week or so, even maybe every day, right? Downtown, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then we're going to
Durham,
have
Cary, Raleigh.
Yeah, a lot of downtown Durham, a lot of downtown Raleigh workers, that kind of stuff. And so if you have ADUs and you can live 5 minutes away in a neighborhood versus 30 minutes away,
Right.
your work-life balance is better. Your nervous system's happier. Like everything works out.
Right. And my thought process is it's also probably good. Like, I think that in America, we are opposed to like multi-generational living. And I think that's poor on our parts. Like, I understand that we don't want to live with our mother-in-law or whatever sometimes.
That's personal.
Right. Yeah.
I was trying to say it in a very nice way.
Right. But this is a way that you can still kind of access the shrinks of having those multiple incomes on one property without having to per se live with
Yes.
your in-law or even your kid. Like, if your kid's coming back home from college, why not build them an ADU?
I don't want to step over my daughter's laundry when she comes back.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't. Okay, she can step over her own laundry. And, to your point about mother-in-laws, and I joke, it is what it is, but anybody that's staying with you, family, friend, otherwise, I love them. I don't want to hear them chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had someone say that to me last week. She's like, I want them close, but I don't want to hear them chew.
That's
And we have our own family lives. We need our own, boundaries, so to speak, or walls of privacy. And anytime you bring anybody else in your house, it changes the dynamic.
It does.
And oftentimes, like for where I am in my life right now, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like it would be too much of a change to where my household would be kind of off the rails for a while.
Right.
But building an ADU and putting them in the backyard doesn't
Okay.
affect me.
Yeah,
The
that's
construction
fine with me.
period, sure. But after that, there's no one in my house 24 hours a day.
Right.
They're in the backyard, which is great. And, we joke about parents now. We're saying put them in the ADU. Hear this too. I've had where children are coming back to take care of their parents. And the parent stays in the larger home and the children move into the ADU. But then also too, this is actually possibly going to happen right next door to me. My neighbors are in their 80s. Well, their son is debating building an ADU, putting the parents in there, and then he's going to renovate the main house and move in. So we've created a pushback. We're still on the same property again. We don't need more dirt. We don't have to buy anything. We don't have to negotiate. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to do inspections. We know we love this house. Like there's so many guarantees when you own the home and then you say, I'm going to build onto it or put an ADU on the property.
And especially if you own it outright. I mean, if they're 80 years old, I assume they own the property.
Cash. You got cash for days in that house.
Right.
That's right.
Right. And then you're gonna increase the value of the property because you're gonna put the ADU on it.
And we're our proximity to university. Oh my gosh. Anybody could use that building for anything they wanted to.
Right.
Anything.
And there's so many nurses here that you could.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
many hospitals? We have like 4
Yeah.
major hospitals and
Right.
40 minutes of each other.
Right.
It's nuts. We got all this stuff. And Durham and Raleigh, we joke, but we are often not affected by the serious mess of the country.
Yeah.
We've got a very interesting mix of people, which is awesome. And to that point, why don't we have a mix of housing?
Right.
We can do better. Two people don't necessarily want or need 8,000 square feet. Some people
Yes.
do. I support that. But then I know that if I have more than 2,000, 2,400 square feet, I won't find my keys.
Yeah, no,
Like
same.
they're gone. They're gone, and I have no idea where they are. And, 1,800 serves me well. And if I were to build an ADU, it'd probably be about 1,000 in my backyard. And it would be for this very purpose to invest. For me right now, my life cycle, I don't need one.
Right.
Okay. Do I desire one? Sure, I want one because they're fun. But if I put one in my backyard right now, it would be for investment purposes.
Yeah, well, I literally called you the other week because that's my thought process.
Yeah.
Our house is 2,200 square foot. We have 2 acres.
Yeah.
I don't really need 2 acres, and I really don't even need 2,200 square foot. But we live in about like 1,000 of it.
That's the thing. You live in your kitchen, your family room, and I don't even live in my family room. I can't even sit down and watch TV right now. But it's like laundry room, kitchen, bed,
Yeah.
garage, because I like to do stuff in the workshop. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your
So-
arts and crafts, and then your kitchen and your bed. That's about it.
Yeah, and it's easy because from my perspective, it's like my mortgage. I pay like $1,000 a month on my mortgage, so that's
Yep.
nothing.
Yeah.
So add a little ADU in the back, I can be
Yeah.
another income.
Yeah.
Why not?
And what we're working on now, like for this very example, so then your next question is, how do I finance it? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You sure you could get your cash out, but then what if we run out?
Right.
What if we want to do a cluster? What if your allowances can let you do 3 or 4? What if we can put are you septic or service, city services? City services? Okay, well, we can connect as many we want. Like the overlays may allow for more. So then what if the budget's not there? Okay, well, we want to use value. We want to get a loan against the value when it's done, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we just found one we think we can.
Oh, nice.
Before we didn't think we could. We thought we could only use your house value. So you take the 2,200 square foot structure, get market value minus your mortgage equals your equity. They'll give you a portion of that. But now we're hoping we can say, okay, we're going to lay this ADU on it. It's going to add $200,000 of value. House plus ADU, that's our value.
That is wonderful.
And then your loan can be, it can all be in one. You don't have to do 2 separate loans. You don't have to do an equity line. You don't have to do an equity loan. You don't have to refi cash out. And we've got some options. We're
So
continuing
you
to
said
dig.
it'd be 2 separate loans?
It could be possibly.
That would be phenomenal.
An equity product is your answer probably for person. And again, it depends.
Yeah,
Everything's
right.
individual. And that's why I love sitting down with these lenders and we go, okay, which is the best fit right now? And I'm going to look at this camera and say, please don't look at rates and that be your deciding factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Look down and say, okay, I'm buying this. Even if I own this house, it's worth this. I'm going to build an ADU. It's going to cost me this. The rent from the ADU is going to be this. My mortgage payment is going to change because I have to refi cash out. You may not go that route, but say
Right.
you did. Okay, so I went from a 3% to a 6% rate. Now my payment is this. If I were to put my sister who's renting my ADU in a property, it would be $1,800 a month minimum. Okay, I know that my mortgage now is only $2,400 all in.
Right.
So really,
That makes sense. Yep.
I'm
You have
somehow
to break it
making- I'm
down.
saving $1,200.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But it's weird math, but it's
Yes.
real math.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's creative business investment. And like you were with us at the sustainability, we have to retrain agents to identify properties that make sense for this because you can't look at a flat lot and go, golden,
Yeah.
100% not real. What's underground count. It's like an iceberg. What you
Okay.
see up top is only the tip. Okay. We need all the details that are underground, literally sometimes to speak of. So there's options all around. But with ADUs, you can build them attached, you can do them detached, all kinds of choices. Yeah.
I didn't realize the ADU could be attached.
Yes. This is actually one of my favorites because I love doing an L shape, like at the back of your house, and then you kick it off to the side or one other side. And then you have your own little courtyard that you've kind of created, and you've created a blank wall of privacy. And then both buildings could load into the backyard. You could have separate fencing. There's also many creative ideas. With an ADU, it can be attached to your property, wall to wall, or it can be, as we know, separate in the back, freestanding alone in your backyard. If it's attached and also detached, but more obvious on the detached,
Right.
the 1-1-1 rule is you cannot access the accessory dwelling unit from your main dwelling unit. So you can't walk through a door, walk through a hall.
Oh, I see. There
Cannot
has to be
get. So
separation
you have to
there.
go out of main unit to get to secondary accessory dwelling unit. That is the one rule of an ADU. But it can be wall to wall in the back. And now we've had people say, what if I want to bust it out later? Okay, well, let us know that. We'll make sure to frame it properly. But when we build it, it's going to be an ADU.
It has to
Right.
be
And what you do or somebody does 20 years down the road with this property, you want to bust it, make it a primary downstairs, something,
That's on you.
knock your socks off.
So
Right.
how do you
yeah.
start? So if you're like, okay, I have the land, I have the space, right? Like Megan, I know not maybe all situations are going to fit an ADU. So how does somebody go about that? Is it speaking directly to somebody like yourself?
Yeah.
Or what do you do?
We want to make sure people can do it.
Yeah.
You don't know where you start. You don't know how to get there. You don't know when to finish.
Yeah.
This is the problem. And it's just like driving a car. None of us knew how to drive a car when we started. This is the same thing with ADUs. There's no reason people should know about these because nobody's ADUing right now.
Right.
But the process is you call, you give us the address. Number 1, 2, 3 rules for us: we don't want to waste anybody, their time, their money, or their energy.
Love that.
Including our team. Okay.
Right.
None of y'all, none of us. We got limit 24 hours a day. That's all we get. So we will take the address and do a top-down evaluation on the internet. We do different portals, county, city, overlays, topography, impervious, wetlands. We look at everything. If that says looks good, we do one of two things. If it looks real good, we'll have a meeting. If it looks like an 80% yes, we'll do a site visit. Then we walk the property mainly to see where connections are coming in. Like if we can't tell where the water line's coming in, how far we're going to have to move it for the second unit, these kind of things. Once we've walked the property and we say a yes and a yes, then we meet. So it's either a yes directly from the electronic review, the intake as we call it. The intake phase 1 is the address and the electronic review. Intake phase 2 is, do we need to walk the property? If all of those are good to go, then we come and sit with the client. Full consultation. What do you want? Why do you need it? What is your budget? That can take 30 minutes or 2 hours because these things serve multiple purposes.
Right.
And you talk about ADA use and 36-inch doorways and things of this nature. What's important? What do we have to have?
Right.
Yes, these are smaller homes, but they're also custom. Will we have some options that are ready to roll? Sure.
Right.
But for the folks that are like, my mom's coming, she's in, she's got this particular type of wheelchair she's in, and we can work on those things.
Yeah.
We've had somebody say the only walls I want in there is around the bathroom. No walls, just bathroom walls. That's it. So once we design, plan, and we have this conversation, it's not even design the plan. Let me take that back. Once we have the conversation to understand the need, then we talk about the square footage because we've discovered in there, I need 2 bedrooms,
Right. Yeah.
1 bath. I need 1 bedroom, an office, and a bath, whatever it might be. Then we take that back and I call it the 3-1-3-1 done plan. We're going to show you 3 plans. We have designers in-house.
That's amazing. I mean, this is.
Thanks. Yeah. It's been a long time planning. I wanted it to be
Yeah.
right. I needed it to be right because I know how quickly the horse in the cart get in the wrong direction. So,
Yes.
but yeah, so we come back, we say, we found these 3 for you. We look at them together. You're like, I love this one. I'm like, okay, great. Do you love it? Or what would you tweak? And you're like, maybe the bathroom could be on the left. So then we bring 3 more designs now, only with that one, tweaking the bathroom. And you're like, that's it. That's my design. So now, again, we're talking about timing and such. What do we already have? What do we already know? We would have collected this at the meeting, the consult meeting. We were ready to go design the project. Do you have a survey? Where are you? Does your township city require a survey? These things we have. That could save us a lot of time and money. So from there, we determine what's going to happen next. It's 3 to 6 weeks for design and approval. Permits, I say 6 weeks to 6 months. And that's really
Depends
scary,
where.
but we don't know.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We want people in-house. Durham just called for someone to come in and be the expert, which is great because Durham does want to expedite ADU permit requests. We're asking the same of Raleigh. It's an ongoing process, again, over time, not overnight. But once we decide a plan, we get the permits, we get all the stuff. Our builder then takes the ball at that point for the next probably 40, this is now we're 30% into the process. They'll take the ball for the next 50 to 60%.
Yeah.
My business partner, Amy, and I are always the point of contact. Of course, the builder will be called in as needed, but we want them to build.
Right.
We're going to make sure that the project is managed properly. We want them to stay in their lane and build. We want the architect to draw. And we've discovered that the superhighway is much faster if everybody stays in their own lane.
100%.
Yeah.
And then we get to the point, we do the walkthroughs, we have a secondary consultation with the client, satisfaction, all this good stuff. Then we go to what is closing, but it's the CO. The certificate of occupancy is given from the permit department of where we're building. And then you have an ADU. And
I
you
do have
can
a question.
Get going with it.
If you, for example, people who have your homes, right? And if you live in an HOA, I know, are ADUs, maybe that wasn't even a thing when some of these communities were built. So
They haven't been a thing at all.
so how does that?
HOAs, and let me kind of give a 30-second option here. The best house has no HOA.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, to say we can't work with boards and have covenants and things and bylaws changed and altered, we can. But if it is like, no secondary dwellings, period, that's a high chance of a no.
Yeah.
We're working with one up in Clayton right now.
Yeah.
They had buildings allowed, but it was only 450 square feet max. So we're trying to get them to increase that to 1,000, specifically for dwellings. You can't build a 2,000 square foot garage, but you could build it specifically for a heated and cooled dwelling.
Yeah.
But top down, the easiest to the hardest.
Yes, as always.
Yeah, here we
No
go.
HOA.
No overlays, no weird districts, no historic, no fancy. Okay, nice cool house in the district of city services, meaning water and sewer are connectable. You have them there. The house can be connected. The ADU may connect to the house, or the ADU may connect directly to services. But we want no overlays on the land. We want enough room to do like a 20 by 20 foundation. And then we also want to have that ability for connectivity. No HOA, no restrictions.
Yeah.
Because when the covenants are laid on top of it, that's when we can't do certain things. Yeah. The neighborhood in Clayton, again, they require their secondary buildings to be all brick, and they said they were not going to change that. So that just added another $15,000 to everybody's project.
Yeah.
Going siding to brick.
Yeah.
But yes, so does that answer the question
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah.
Good.
What are you seeing as far as price? I mean, like a basic, like I just need it to serve its purpose. I need to lay my head at night somewhere.
Yep. Now let's talk about two different types of ADUs. We talk about attached and detached.
Yeah.
But then we have inside the dwelling and outside the dwelling.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah. So you have an attic, but there's no internal stairs, but it could be finished. Okay, great. We're going to do like a fire escape stairwell outside. You now have an ADU.
Oh, I see what you're talking
Okay.
about.
What have we saved? Connections.
Yeah.
No cost on connections. No cost on foundation. No cost on roof.
So it's very specific to your home. I mean, you guys can work with what?
We love playing
have.
Tetris.
That's amazing.
We love playing Tetris. I mean, we're having a coffee chat with a group of people, a couple that called me yesterday, and I've known her just through life. And she's like, we really want to just build houses. We really just want to do things good. Yeah. We don't really necessarily we don't want to make a lot of rental money. Like, we're kind of close to retirement. We're really grateful to be here, but like, help us build houses. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. That's the whole, it's very much a pioneering feeling. Yeah. We're going into the unknown. We're making decisions in flight. But the beautiful thing is we're just slowing down. We're not stopping. Like, we're like,
you're paving the way of opportunity.
I mean, the sustainability thing, I looked at President Danielle and I said to her as we were walking in, she goes, how you doing? This is amazing. And I said, it's really intense. And she said, why? I said, because I'm educating the next generation of housing.
You are.
Right.
No pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have been obsessed with this for 3 years. And my dad died in 2020, not from COVID, everybody always asks. But my father was big into building. He was big into logistics. He was big, like he was like multiple countries for warehousing and stuff that he was, and he just loved it. It's how his brain worked. And I was like, my dad would love this stuff. Like, he
would be
would
so
love
happy.
It's like playing little bit. It's like adult Tetris. Like you're like building little cities, like Monopoly. Building little cities, putting little hotels over here, little houses over here.
That.
But in the Cardinal ADU is for my father.
Okay.
A lot of people think it's for North Carolina, which happens to work out too.
Yeah.
But within a day or two of my dad dying, the fattest, reddest Cardinal I've ever seen in my life showed up and has not left. So so the Cardinal's for my dad, but it all comes from there. But for me, how to get here, I found an ADU and I stayed in it for a couple of days. I questioned why we don't have it. I got frustrated with housing prices during the pandemic, and now frustrated with mortgage rates and buyers' confidence. So guess what? We're going to build something else.
Yeah.
Because my daddy also used to say this. This is a good one. He said, if you can't beat them and they won't let you join them, leave and do something else. So
it's true.
Accidentally, I think that's what I did. And I'm not mad at real estate. I love real estate. Like it's where, all of this brought me here. 21 years on purpose, right? But I'm like this. We need something different, but I don't know why yet. And I'm cool with not knowing why.
Yeah.
I just know that it's behind me. I can feel it in my blood. Like, it's like nothing I've ever felt before. And Amy's the same way. And, we haven't rolled out the nonprofit division yet because we have to stage this. We have to come out and, in stages and ages. And we've got investors coming up from different states, which people are like, oh, I don't want people coming in from different states. No, these folks have already done this. They've done it brilliantly.
Yeah, I think
Austin, Texas. We got a guy coming in from Austin. It's him and his daughter. They work together on a team for this. Same thing. Yeah. They are very much not your typical American humans. And that's not a negative thing, but like, they all come from different areas. And this is the thing. I'm like, I love the fact that random people from Austin, Texas want to invest in our marketplace.
Yeah, for sure.
They see the value.
Got millions and millions of dollars of success stories behind them to do good for other people. Yeah, and I'm like, this is what we need. And so those that know are already starting to want to do it. And we won't have a problem for comparisons, because if these are all put on the ground by way of cash purchases, we're going to have all the comps we need as agents. Yeah. Well, and that was a big concern.
It's funny because you said, it is actually, because I actually have a property in Virginia that technically has an ADU on it. But there are no other properties in Danville with ADUs. So they it's literally, I have one house, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And then I have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath ADU. It's about like 600 square foot. easily they undervalued it by easily $30,000.
On the tax side. Yeah.
Well, actually, I refied.
Okay, yeah.
And they undervalued it like crazy because they were like, oh, well,
We don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea. There's nothing else like this in the area. And I'm like, well, but
That doesn't make it less valuable just because it's
Right.
unique. But think about here locally too, basements and swimming pools. What do we do with them?
Yeah.
Some people hate pools.
some
Some
people
people
are
love
great. Some
pools.
of them, yeah.
Right. You know, I've worked for
I tell
people.
people all the time they don't add or take away.
It depends on who you are.
Yep.
Yeah. But we don't know how to value them. It depends on the appraiser. That depends also how they're going to find that value. And I joked with a group of folks at an education event a couple weeks ago, but it's true. At some point in time, 2-car garages were not stuck in houses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
that is true.
yeah.
And now they're like, that's normal. To see a house without a garage is weird.
Yes.
To see a house with a carport is even weirder.
Yes,
I love
you're
a
right.
carport, just
I
for the
like a
record.
carport,
I like the breezes. But yeah, it's, we're getting there, and we will turn the ship around, and it will be another housing option. But going back to the agent thing and just identification, people's mindset changing, being comfortable with a different feeling of housing. Someone called it cozy living the other day. I don't even think it's cozy. I mean, I've had a house that was 1,086 square feet, and it wasn't cozy. It was plenty big.
The size of an
Plenty
apartment.
big.
It really just depends on how you design things.
And that's our favorite
course.
part. They
Yeah.
feel so big the minute you walk in, and the all the amenities and the things inside, the choices are streamlined and sleek, and they're not bulky, and it's on purpose. So you
Right.
get full capacity of your floor space.
Yeah. Now, do you have
Murphy beds, whatever you want.
somewhere like if someone called you and was like, hey, can you like show me some of your work?
Jamie, we have not built an ADU from ground. We have not completed one. We are building some right now. There's not a completed one. We officially incorporated on May 12th of this year.
Congratulations.
So
Nice,
that is
yeah.
our kickoff was May 12th, and then end of June was our official announcement. So July, August, September, we've been out 90 days, about 100 days.
Nice.
All in, which is crazy. It's already been
Yeah.
100 days. And now I forgot your question because I can't believe we've been out 100.
So you were talking about have you finished an AD?
We haven't finished one, but to find specs,
Yeah.
we would go to one of his constructed homes.
Nice.
He has been building and renovating, like I said, for over 20 years, and we can easily go and look at pictures or go into a home. His clients, I'm sure, would accommodate a visit. I've had him do work in my home, and that's kind of my litmus test.
Yeah.
If they keep me happy, they can keep about everybody happy. So I had him restructure a porch and move a ceiling and hung the roof out further. So it was pretty creative, and
Yeah.
he did a great job. So
That's awesome.
I do trust him very much, and I believe in his skill set and his mindset. He wants to do good things. I went to him about 2 years ago when I was trying to figure out where are we going to get the builder from. And I said, will you turn your business into this? And both of us have unofficially said by Q2 of 26, we're going to be doing very little of what we're currently doing.
Yeah.
So it's committed to doing all
Well, I
of
mean,
this
there
on
is
purpose.
no other ADU. Like, if I looked up ADUs in Raleigh or Durham, like, there's no ADU per se builder. There are some people that have built ADUs,
Yeah.
obviously, but there's not one specific.
Yeah, and we are the only design build company. We want to be the consultant. We want to be the project managers, because in Raleigh, they're about 34% right now from the standpoint of people that ask questions by way of permit pulls or they buy a plan. But those numbers are 1/3, or just, they're 2/3 higher. We only have 1/3 of completed ADUs. We've had about 300 in Raleigh finished. There's been close to 900 permits and or inquiries for styles and designs made. So why are only 1/3 of the people finishing?
Yeah, where's the gap?
Where's the
there?
where's the disconnect, right?
That's a big
Yeah,
disconnect.
huge. And I was talking to someone that's on city council actually, and they confessed, and their word was, I have a confession. I said, yes. They said, we started to do this and then we quit
Yeah.
because we didn't know who to call.
Right.
Because when you go online and you type in ADU builder, you just get 18 sponsored builders, which is what the internet does for us. You know, car people, whoever, hotels, you can search for anything. It's always the sponsored one first. And then you go into the web pages that are no longer sponsored. You know, they're real people with real gravity on the internet. And you're like, okay, so they're a builder that happened to make ADUs.
Right.
And there is a different setup for all of this. Yes, it's building a home. They are more than qualified. But we want to make sure that the process is from start to finish makes sense. And we come in addition to the builder, because this is, you're building on your own home.
Right.
Right.
This is personal. This is intimate.
Yes.
Okay, we're literally coming into your house.
Right.
And so anytime I go into someone's home, I take it very seriously. And so that's the piece where builders don't naturally do that. They talk about the design of what they want to do, but the connection of it's a little different because we already have need for this. And it's not you necessarily using that ADU for yourself. It might be your mom, your sister, your people, your friends, your investment. Right?
Cost of financing. Like if I can't figure out how to finance it, then it won't go.
We are still completing that process right now. I would say if you think about the 100% cup of people that want to build ADUs, I feel strongly I can get about 75% of them some kind of money.
Nice.
I'd like to get that 100%, that 25% gap up to 100. But right now I feel like I could get 75% of all interested consumers some type of financing, as long as they're happy with the final payment. Please don't look at the rate.
Yeah.
To make it make sense.
Yeah.
And then we have conversations coming up with some other folks for bridge funding, which would, okay, so again, your house, it's valued at this. We're going to take, I'm just going to make up numbers. You got $300,000 house. We're going to build $200,000 ADU. We got $500,000. Okay. But we don't want to mess with anything yet, but we'll refinance later, but we can't, but we need that $500,000 value. Well, we need a bridge loan. What if you don't have enough equity in your house yet because you just bought it
Right.
with 5% down,
Right.
but you want an ADU?
Right.
So then here comes the bridge loan to gap that. And then when it's done, you refinance and only have that mortgage because the ADU is already on the property. It's not a subject to, it's there.
Right.
So once it's there, oh, and we're going to need a whole nother episode for 1031 money. 1031 like kind exchange money. There is a way, not directly, but indirectly to use that money for your investors.
Wow.
So I have talked to two experts in the 1031 exchange world. And actually one of them called me from a 1031 conference, which was kind of cool. I was like, where are you? He's like, I'm in Vegas talking about 1031 things. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks for taking 20 minutes to talk to me.
Yeah.
And they have both said, yes, here's the rule of thumb with 1031 like kind money. If you own the parcel, if you own the PIN number, you cannot build on that. If you own the PIN already, you can improve. You cannot improve. You cannot build. So as an investor, if you own 123 Main Street and 125 Main Street, we can't build on either one of those. If you sell 125, you can't do anything to 123 to make it better. You already own that PIN. Okay. You'd have to go buy and identify a different property. So there is a way to do it if we were to have a portfolio of properties coming with ADUs. And then 90 days from completion, next investor identifies the 1031 like kind exchange money, identifies that property that will have a completed ADU on it. This is also where the bridge component, that bridge financing, the gap financing is going to be something we look into for the rest of the year.
Yeah. My mind's going crazy.
I know, isn't it nuts how it just starts? I mean, if you're
Well,
in
I'm
this,
thinking,
we're all
like-
becoming a little like, yee. I mean, woo woo, big time. We're in the
All
woo
right.
woo.
Well, have you heard of pad split?
Of who?
Pad split?
Pad split.
Yeah.
Yes, and also too, Apartment Finder is now doing ADUs, and they hosted someone they were the sponsor of a podcast the other day, and the person that she was the woman that owned the ADU. She was an investor that had like 16 ADUs. She uses Apartment Finder because they're doing middle rentals. They're doing midterm rentals now, 3, 6, and 9 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Furnish
interesting.
Finder also. Another one, they're doing 3, 6, and 9 rentals. They're entertaining that now for middle, or what they're calling midterm long rentals.
Yeah.
Short term, less than a month. Long term, more than 6.
Right.
So now we need a 3, 6, and maybe even a 9-monther in there somewhere to give
Yeah.
people options. And to your point with the traveling nurses and stuff, we have a lot of contractual workers that come and then they're gone. So if you could rent something consistently for 3 months for a very decent price versus like an Airbnb for 3 months is out of control.
Right.
Yeah.
So if
Well,
we can
pad
get
split,
permissions too.
Pad split, you literally, so the way that pad split works is there's no co-living spaces
Yeah.
other than the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like
Your roommates.
Your roommates.
Okay.
And you rent out each individual room. You have your own door with your own door code.
Actually, a friend of mine does this, but I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has
Because
one.
my thought process is if you put a ADU up and you got a house now, let's say that house could give you 6 bedrooms, 6 rooms. And then now you put an ADU in the back and the ADU is going to give you another 4 rooms. You got 10 doors on one parcel.
You can build whatever you want. And that's where the consultation, like we say, okay, what's your goal?
Yeah.
Like this couple I was mentioning earlier, they're like, we have these 2 investment properties with big lots. We'll tear them down if we need to. Do we need to do a quadplex, a duplex, 2 in the back? What do we need to do? Same thing, best use of land. How can we do this? What does make
Right,
sense?
right.
And then for you, how can you maximize what you've built?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's your investment process.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, your head's going to you're going to wake up going, you can't build it there. You can't put it there. You cannot put the ADU there. I was like, oh my God, it's 5:30. Good morning. Here we go. I'm dreaming
morning,
about this all day.
ADUs.
And I'm like, let's make some marketing. Coffee gives me power. But
I know.
no,
Speaking
thank
of,
you.
I gotta get me some more coffee.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
So thank you guys very much. Is there
Yeah.
any other questions y'all have?
I mean, my brain, I mean, I know she's more on the investment side, but I'm like, this is such a great concept for people, kind of like you were talking about. Things are getting so expensive. I meet so many clients who are, you know, have children in their late teens or early 20s.
Yep.
And they say, you know, in 5 years, I don't know where they're going to buy. So this is a solution of, well, why don't we, if we're looking for you for a home, why don't we try to find no HOA? If that's the goal, right? If you already have that in mind, and you know, as a parent, I don't want my kids moving back with me, but the reality
As long as
is,
you can't hear them chew.
I know, but the reality is,
Right.
they could. And then I see so many
Yeah.
generational living now, homes
Across the
that,
street, we have 3 generations across the street from me.
Yeah.
In one
and
house.
it's becoming very real. And I think this is such a great concept for many reasons. And getting creative, like that's what it's all about. And making sure, like you said, everybody just has a safe place to live. And how do we get creative, and how do we capitalize like in what we have, right? So I have a home, if it's already paid off, instead of worrying about going to buy other homes, how do we get our kids back in? Or, you know, my mom, right? I think it's a great concept.
My business partner's building one on her property for this very reason.
Yeah.
She knows that her daughter will not be able to come out of college and buy a $500,000 starter home.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
she's like, she'll pay me rent. And what she doesn't know is I'm going to stick half of it away. So when she gets to go, you know, now she's got a little nest egg for down payment going forward.
Yep.
And then you get them out of the house, literally. You
I
put
got
them
a
in the
property
yard
right
and then
now.
you get them out of the house.
I'm actually thinking about, I took a client to a house on this weekend, and they're like, how can we get, like, it's like, I don't know, like 13 acres or something like that. They were like, how could we get 8 properties on this house? Like, well, we have to divide them. Now my mind's going,
Oh, and hear me say, like dropping a community septic, I am not an expert.
Yeah.
We always say that first, second, and third.
Yeah.
right.
But the concept is a community septic, community well. We see them all over, scattered about where we are now, okay? I grew up on a community well.
Yeah.
So
Same.
how many houses can we put on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about RV
Well, that's-
lots, and I'm
well,
not
my
trying to
thought
minimize this,
process
but
is-
Yeah.
there's RV lots, and they have one giant septic. Yes, you have to, you know, but I mean, we could pipe everything into there through infrastructure.
There's options.
Right.
And I
Well,
think people
and
don't realize that there's other options in the standard loans, the standard living.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's
What are
great.
the possibilities?
Yeah.
And I've got a friend of mine up in Wake Forest. They just bought what is going to be 15 acres. 12 of it's going to be for fun and hunting. But then the front 3, she's like, she saw me post this. She's like, call me. Because she loves making money off of housing. Like, and she's a furniture flipper, and like she loves everything domestic, right? And so this is right up her alley. What can we do? Best use. What's your goal?
Yeah.
Let's start with that. And then we go and figure out how we start. But it's very good. Very good.
So if anybody wants to get in touch with you,
Yes,
can
and
they
let me
find
say
you?
this first and foremost with the agent stuff. I am open for education. I'm open for questions.
Amazing.
If I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody that does, or I'll call the city or township and find out from them what we need to know. We are actively working right now on an affiliate or an agreement for referrals with our agents because 21 years of doing this, it's very difficult to do anything for free. And if I want you all to tell your clients there's a better option, then we need to reward you for being smarter. That's our theory. So we actually have an attorney call this afternoon for documentation. But we do have incentives for agents. We want them to have this as a toolbox in their belt to tell, and a tool in their belt to tell their folks, you've got options.
Yes.
Because in my career, I can't even tell you how many times I've moved people for one more room.
It's true.
We need one more
I'm literally
room.
doing
Yes.
it right now.
Right.
That, and it's the same clients. They're thinking to themselves, so like they actually moved because they wanted their parents to live with them, and they just had a kid. And so they moved into a bigger house, and now it's, you know, you got 2 families living under one roof. It's you know, a little stressful. You got this newborn baby now. And
There's no downtime. It's never
Right.
quiet. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard.
And so they're thinking, okay, can we buy this land to put this home? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, had I had known about this prior to, you know, last year at this time, then I probably would have told them differently. I probably would have said,
Yeah.
hey, let's look.
It's another option.
Right.
And you know, a friend of mine, not a friend, I feel like he is. I've listened to him so much, but podcaster guy. He always says, put on the googly eyes, put on your fake little goggles, and look differently into the land of real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really it, because
not?
you haven't had that view, right?
Right.
Nobody told you it's possible. You've heard they were illegal. They were illegal for a while. Raleigh, actually, it was on the dock 2013, and then somebody vetoed it last minute, and then they came back and made it official in 2020. So, I mean, we had 7 years of no build because it was taken off the agenda. But yeah, very different when you have different glasses.
Yeah.
You know, I can't see you at all. I put these on, I see a lot better. You're very pretty. Very nice. But yeah, so very much. And then now you can go advise these people. You say, hey, look, these are options.
Right.
And for folks that are going to continue to call you, or as you continue, and I know you do this, you monitor your clients' life cycles.
Yes.
Somebody's going to tell you their mama's coming. And you're going to say, before that happens, let's go ahead and get ready.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have the conversation. So going back, conversations all day. I want to be a consultant. Yes, I'm a licensed agent. I am not taking anybody's business.
Yeah, I'm not.
I am a consultant. I want to make sure that you can do best by your clients and that they feel like you are brilliant by way of using us also as a tool.
Right.
If you have addresses in the world that you're considering, and I mean, this is nuts, but like if you're going on a tour with your clients next weekend, send me them all right now. And then I'll tell you, item number 2, 4, and 6 are your best options for ADUs. You can definitely not put one on 7 or 10,
Right.
you know, and then that way you go out prepared
Right.
to say right here, right here.
Yes. And I always say my job, when I'm marketing, when I'm selling a house, then I'm going to market. Don't get me wrong. I'm a sales agent when it comes to selling and listing a house. But when I'm talking to my client, I am their advisor.
Correct.
I am. It's
We don't have anything to sell.
right.
We don't
Right.
own
Yeah.
those houses.
Right.
Yes.
I'm
We're
educating you.
We're connections.
Yes, I'm solving your problems.
That's right.
And this is just, like you said, another tool to solve another problem. Why not?
Exactly.
You know, you look smarter.
And the people think you're great because they don't have to move.
Right.
The worst part about moving is moving.
Yeah.
100%. And I tell people it's the worst part of my job
Yeah.
to make them have to pack all their stuff and leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, contacting us for questions, education, anybody that is in a real estate office that would like us to come for lunch and learns, breakfast coffees, we will be doing meetups ourselves.
Oh, good,
Once a
yeah.
quarter as a company. We're going to do I think they're going to be called Brews and News.
Okay.
Yeah. Local breweries will have somebody come in that's an expert in the real estate world that affects ADUs, land use management, for instance, and have them give a little spiel for 15, 20 minutes, Q&A if we want. Very casual public events that'll be on the Facebook and the Instagram, which, how do you find us? Right now, those are our 2 favorite, Facebook and Instagram, Cardinal ADU. That's it, at Cardinal ADU. And we are working on a website. It's in development right now, so that'll be coming. But you can connect with us rather through the links there. We're very active on socials. And then our email is cardinaladuco@gmail.com.
Love
So
it.
thank you very much. It's good.
Absolutely.
I'm
Thanks
excited.
for
You're
having
gonna
us.
y'all gonna love this. So
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like,
and I can see like
mind
both your eyes are
explode.
like, oh. And I'm like, I've seen this
Because I'm thinking
a lot
about the
from
clients,
people.
you know, you think about the last few years where people are moving, like you just said,
The
I need
pandemic
an
showed
extra
us.
room,
Yes.
or I don't need
Yes.
this room, or what, and I need an office. And so they give up
Homeschool.
to
There's all
kinds of things,
stuff.
life events. And so I think
Yes.
this is such a great idea. And then also collaborating with other agents, right? We don't Megan and I are really good about, we want to collaborate. There's no competition here, right?
One of our 4 pillars is collaboration
It
over
has to
competition.
be.
We have it
Absolutely.
in writing on our wall.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's so silly to
People
compete.
need people.
Yes.
And this is
And I
how
have a
we
big
do
giant
it.
flag on the side of my house that said people need more people. That's what
And
it says.
it's true.
We
It's
do.
true.
I mean, the internet's great, but I mean, once in a while I need a hug, you
Yeah,
know, and
right.
sometimes that ADU is the hug you need because
Yeah.
now you can see your parents.
Yes.
Before we
Yeah.
switch gears a little bit, talk to me about how you guys met, and because I think that's also important to talk about, you know, the committees that you're in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. DEI all day
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
I told this story to somebody the other day because I told them I was meeting with you. So I am the chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee this year at the Raleigh Regional Association, and I'm so grateful that we were able to keep the name. We have decided to absolutely move forward, and we've had the best time. We have an event coming up this Thursday, matter of fact.
Yeah.
The block party is
You
this
should come.
Thursday,
You're not
4:30. I think it's
Okay.
4:30 to 6:30. Family friendly, dog friendly outside. I think it's rain or shine, but double check the internet for the answer.
Yeah, I believe
but
so.
we met, and the way our room's set up, it's a horseshoe of desks, if you would. And then I was kind of at the top of the horseshoe with my co-chair, Drew. And we're going around the room telling about each other. And Megan no longer is quiet, but she's very quiet. She's like, Megan Black, I do this, I do this, I do this. I was like, oh, she's brilliant. Like, I'm sitting there listening to her, and I'm like,
Thanks.
oh, she's spacey. I like the brilliant, spacey ones, but she's very quiet. Why? And so then Megan Black, next person beside her is Megan Brown.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
my
funny.
gosh.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally.
So then I said, well, this is fun. And I said in Jamie fashion that I've now learned to just embrace because I'm a crazy person. I said, Megan Black and Megan Brown, y'all both white. So
That was the icebreaker.
In the DEI room, okay? We're all good here, y'all. We love all the colors, okay?
All inclusive.
So after that, we cracked up, and then a couple other meetings. She's like, "Will you podcast?" And that was about a year ago,
Yeah,
give or
it's been a
take.
minute.
And then I'm trying to recruit her into a couple different chambers of commerces, and we see each other at events all the time.
Yep.
And
She just actually wrote me a letter of recommendation for the Triangle
Leadership Academy.
Yeah, the
That's
Leadership
right.
Academy.
Yep, one of the best humans I know.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
One of the best
Ditto.
humans and authentic,
Ditto.
authentic all day.
Yes,
So yeah, it's
same.
good. I like it a lot. But yeah, it's that's how we met, and I do believe that people are drawn together. And I
Absolutely.
now, I'm 49 years old, will go up to someone and be like, "Hello." It's hard to make friends as an adult,
It is.
and it's going to be really weird for about 30 seconds. But I think I like you, and here's why. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell them, and they're like, "Oh my god, me too." And I have made new friends like that over and over again.
Yeah.
Because the icebreaker, as you just said, is the problem. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to look like that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I
you
will be that
embrace it.
person all day.
I love
what
it.
she
I do
is.
too. I
love
call it life experiment. I'm like, I wonder if I do this, what's going to happen? And literally the answer is nothing.
Yeah.
Most times nothing happens.
Yeah.
Or if something happens, it's great or funny and it glitches the system and makes
Yeah.
it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's fun that we met in life.
Yeah.
So,
just-
on purpose.
RIR.
Yeah.
And it's nice because,
Yeah.
like I said, you have a bubbly personality
Yeah.
and you're very authentic too.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
I tried to hide it. I got tired.
Oh my gosh.
I felt the
That's
same
the
way.
truth.
Yeah.
Till about 42, y'all, I was way different. 45.
Yeah.
Well, even
Yeah.
before we started recording, we just talked about this where the old us would react to things a little bit differently
Oh, yes.
because life happens, right? So it's just
Look,
part of the learning
if
process.
I realized about halfway here, no umbrella in the car.
yeah.
Okay. There's kind of hurricane rains coming and going.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I was like, well, I might look like a drowned rat. And if I do, I'll be like, at least it's real. But it's not raining, so we're good. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I showered today, so you're all welcome. But it's true. And you ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And surrendering and giving grace and acceptance is real cool.
Yeah.
Because
Accepting
when you,
yourself too, because me and her are both late. Like we both came out late
yeah,
Okay.
later
yeah,
in life.
that's right.
And I think we kind of have that.
You have to find yourself.
Taking that chance because all of
yeah.
this, even, starting your business, you guys meeting, it's just, I always feel like people are placed in your lives right at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know it.
Reason, season, lifetime.
Yes, all
yeah,
the time.
I love it.
So I think, and we kind of talked about that as you get older, you just don't, not that you don't care, but I'm just here for
particular.
me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am particular. And,
Yeah.
and I cannot with a lot of things. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I avoid those things or I don't put myself in those rooms.
You know how to, yes.
I'm aware.
Where you're going to spend your time and with who and how.
I love all of the weird me. And as Craig Foley
I
said.
love the weird you too.
Yeah, thanks. Craig Foley announced me at an event last week, and he said this man had known me for less than 36 hours.
Oh my gosh.
He's from Massachusetts. He was down doing our event. He was
love
the
him.
MC for the event, and we were at dinner. We had one meal together amongst the other planning committee members. We had dinner together the night before the event, and on the day of the announcement, he said, "And if you all have not met Jamie Ferguson, she is the craziest, best kind of nuts you'll ever meet." And it's on the internet. And I went, "Oh, Craig," because that's
It's so
truly
accurate,
the nicest
though.
thing.
Yeah.
That's truly
Yeah.
anyone has ever said. I was
You're
like,
like, thank you.
when people say, "Oh, she's a very nice professional. She's going to get the job done," I'm like, "That's not me. That's
Yeah.
my job.
Right.
I am the best kind of nuts, and that is
Yeah.
now stuck. So yeah, I'm into it.
I
I'm the
love
best
that.
kind of nuts."
Yeah. Well, it's funny when I was like, it's Jamie Ferguson's coming. She was like, "Who?" And I was like, "You don't know Jamie Ferguson?"
But then I immediately saw her face and I'm like, yes, like,
Wait a minute, I know her.
I mean, even like my clothes are changing. I'm like, these are black pants, yes, but I'm like, I need loud things. I need loud clothes. So it's kind of like a warning signal as I enter the room that Jamie's going to be really nice. But if you get her on a topic, she's going to,
Yeah.
raise her hand a little bit. So yeah,
But it's good because you know what you're talking about.
well, and I keep my mouth shut. That's another thing I've learned. If I don't know it, I ain't talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2 ears, one mouth. So I will listen to experts tell me about what they know. And that is literally how I got where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Listen
got
to
the
a
right
pod-
experts
Oh yeah,
working with you.
I mean, you have to go find them. And then coming in, I was listening to a podcast about grit. Grit is actually where success comes from. You're not a born talent. Grit over time and consistency is where success lies.
Yes.
And it all is fueled by passion.
Passion is,
Yeah.
and I hear it.
Yeah. And I can't, I mean, like I literally, I feel a little bit like I'm, cloud nine in a weird way because I'm like, why do I like this so much again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 21 years in real estate will make you think about things.
Yeah.
It'll make, I mean, we've all been in it. I have wanted to put my head through walls, granite.
I know.
It is, but we are helping people. And when you're serving people, there's emotions, there's drama, there's trauma. It's all included. And we accidentally serve as counselors and guides.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. And so I'm glad you can see that I enjoy this because it is for the people and that's important. But I'll
love
still
your
sling.
heart.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a beautiful heart.
She's pretty big and she's pretty sensitive sometimes, but she's also and I think I get this from my dad. Like I said to somebody that actually said my partner 2 weeks ago, I said, I don't want to sound like I'm crazy, but I really think that all of this is not thinking. I do believe all of this has come together because I truly don't believe I will fail permanently.
No.
I do not believe I will fail permanently.
I can't. So have you ever heard the term pronoia?
Oh yes, I actually saw the woman that made it up on the internet back in the pandemic. She made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also how you get rid of executive dysfunction and think that you have what's it called, imposter syndrome. All of these things. Okay.
That good old imposter syndrome.
And then also, you were talking about mothers-in-law earlier. Let's go ahead and talk about our mamas. Okay. I love you, mama, but if she told me to sit still and be quiet, being sweet, she wanted me to just be easy in the room, but I that's not who I am.
No.
And there's a time and place for that, but by design, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
So you got to get through all that good stuff too.
and
to
you
find
tap into
yourself.
those qualities and you know how to use them and serve yourself and others.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
I mean, I think about a sports car. You step on that gas and you don't know what you're doing, you're in trouble.
Right.
But you got that much power under the hood and you know how to run that thing, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So, and there's creativity beyond belief. There's not just one way to do it. Like y'all just found out today, you can buy different houses now.
Right.
So we have choices.
Yeah. It's definitely.
It's fun. It's fun to be creative and it's fun to actually really love on people on purpose.
Yeah. And to be intentional.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think when you're the sales agent, that all you care about is your next dollar, then you might make it, but you ain't gonna make it far.
It's the people.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the people. And then I tell people on accident we get paid.
Yes. Yeah. I tell people all the time. When I was a dental assistant, I remember having these conversations with dentists who would focus on the production. And I always tell them, I'm like, if you stop focusing on the production and just start focusing on your patients
That's right.
and your employees, the money will follow.
You become what you focus on.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's
if
same
you have
thing with real
happiness
estate.
that you create, you focus on the people, you create happiness in that space, people can't help but come.
Yeah.
100%. And I
Most
mean,
of my business is referrals.
and this industry too is very self-promoted, right?
Yes.
We have to do a lot of self-promotion. I've done a lot of self-promotion over the years. And I said to Amy, I said, I'm going to tell you something that's going to sound weird. I'm not going to post anything about us. She goes, why? I said, I want other people to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I just shared something the other day.
Yeah. And I love this because I want people to find it just as important as I do.
Yeah.
And the way you know that is when they share it.
Right.
Yeah.
In my opinion, on socials. Like we have to use that as a litmus test on the internet. Like what's happening on the internet because that's where the people are, right? And for us, I'm like, they're sharing it.
Yeah.
If sharing is caring,
Yeah,
okay,
it
and in
is.
this world, it really is because it's education.
Yeah.
is.
So
I
it's
want people.
awesome.
I want people to know about it.
Yeah,
It's a really awesome product.
and there are other people out there doing this. There is no one, like I said, doing what we're doing. We happen to be a women-owned, 100% women-owned, and queer-owned and affiliated business.
Love that.
So it is. It's on purpose. All of it's on purpose. And I made some really strong female friends in this adventure. I mean, like there's some folks. There's some women on the West Coast. I'm like, maybe when I grow up, I can be that smart because their prowess is out of control.
That's gonna be you in
Just
5 years.
banging
So.
it. Well, here we go. Hope finger, I still got to send a kid to college. So yeah, we'll try, but life is life. I poured my water out on my laptop and we did a podcast.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, literally, you guys that are listening. Literally, I go to get her from the elevator, open up the doors, and she's just like, my water exploded on everything.
I'm holding my laptop up. There's drips coming from the bottom of it. She goes, "What happened?" I'm like, "Explosion."
Yeah.
You missed me dumping the whole tote out the side door. I dumped all the water out of the tote and onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then you came to the elevator. I was like, "Hello."
And here we are.
I'm having a moment.
And you took your moment.
I took my moment. I got to take
and
a lap.
came back and-
yeah, I love a lap. I'll take a lap at home. I'll get off a phone call. I'll go walk in the driveway a couple times. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta take a lap.
I gotta take a load out.
That's the forever athlete in me.
Yeah.
Take a walk. My
Yeah.
coach, one of my favorite coaches, you get Madeline Court, she'd say, take a walk. And that meant go up and down the hallway about 10 times and come back when you're fixed.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's necessary.
Oh, yeah. Breathing's cool.
Yeah.
Breathing is cool.
Yeah.
So,
I tell
yeah.
people all the time, emotions are normal, but how you react to the emotions, it's,
Choices. Every day is a 24-hour period of compounding choices.
Right.
For yourself, for others, how you perceive and enter the world.
Yep. 100% agree.
I believe that a million times over. So, and I've learned it. I've watched it.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
can do things differently and see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
But Jamie, I am really appreciative of you coming today.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
We learned so much. And,
Yes.
You guys are great.
yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.